Good day. In today's video, I have some CDs, one tape, and a couple of records, and I still haven't bought any more, any 2021 releases. But in the next video, there might be at least one. Here we go. First up, we have Noregs Vapen by Take. It was released in 2011 through Svarte Kunstproduktioner. And Take is a band I have read a lot about, but actually only heard one song. And apparently the project started back in 95 by Höst, and he spells the without the Norwegian ö. So I thought it was called Host and was from Germany or the Netherlands or something. But Noregs Vapen is his fifth full length. And the album title, I first thought that it was misspelled, but then I thought someone named Noreg had some weapons and wondered who the hell Noreg is. But it turns out it's Nynorsk, New Norwegian, and that they for some reason decided that the country of Norway, which is called Norge in bokmål, should be spelled Noreg. All confusion aside, Take plays 90s Norwegian black metal and does it very, very good. It's very good riffs and atmosphere and good vocals, drumming, and the production is very, very nice. And the only track I had heard beforehand was Myr, where there's an excellent banjo solo in the middle. It's very unexpected, but it fits in with the music incredibly good. And I'm definitely going to check out more of his stuff because it's 7 tracks, around 45 minutes of very good Norwegian black metal in the vein of Darkthrone, but slightly more polished and melodic. So Take, Noregs Vapen. Next, we have Bestial Mockery with an album called Gospel of the Insane. It was released in 2006 through Osmos and Red Stream. And Bestial Mockery is a black thrash band that was formed in 95 in Uddevalla, Sweden. And they have now split up. But I first came in contact with the band with their debut full-length Christ-crushing hammer chainsaw, but completely forgot about the band until I saw this on Facebook Marketplace. And Gospel of the Insane was the band's fourth full length, and it contains 13 tracks, including the bonus Sledgehammer Sacrifice. It's around 37 minutes in length, and this is excellent stuff. It sounds a little bit similar to Destroyer 666, but more chaotic and with chainsaw solos. They use actual chainsaws. And the lyrics are very over the top, and sometimes they don't make any sense at all. But Master Motorsåg, the vocalist, is excellent, especially when he shouts, "Do you like to fuck corpses?" repeatedly in both the track Hell's Vociferation and Slut Fuck Cult. And the most thrashy song is very unexpectedly the one called Black Metal Slaughter. There's some really nice thrash riffing going on there. And the copy I picked up actually is signed by the drummer and the vocalist. So check out Bestial Mockery, Gospel of the Insane if you like Destroy 666 or blackened thrash with over-the-top lyrics.
Manifestation, execute the kill, violent fucking will. Sword of the evil, tormented race of fuck. Get down on your knees, something might be so.
Next up we have Destroy the Opposition by Dying Fetus. It was released in the year 2000 through Relapse. And Dying Fetus plays brutal technical death metal, and they're from Baltimore. And they have been around since '91, and Destroy the Opposition is the band's third full length. I bought this CD at first around the release date after hearing the track Pissing in the Mainstream. In the middle, when he sings If Rome Could Last 500 Years, who then will throw out the wrench inside our gear, and there's a breakdown. I thought it was awesome, so that's why I bought it 20 years ago. But that's the only track I thought was good at the time. But I found it for about €3 on Facebook Marketplace, so I bought this because I have sold it a long time ago. And this is very good. Unlike most newer technical death metal, it's that has a very polished and digitalized sound. This still feels very natural. The sound is very natural, but they do some they play a lot of hyper fast bright notes on top of the actual riffs. I don't know how to explain it because I'm very non-musical, but I will leave a link. No, I will in the sample I will pick what I mean. But other than that, the drumming is excellent. The vocals are quite varied and nice, and the riffing is very good, and the production very good. And it's 8 tracks and 36 minutes long. And I still think Pissing in the Mainstream is the best song, but the other tracks are also very good. So check out Dying Fetus, Destroy the Opposition if you want to dig in some technical, brutal death metal that doesn't sound like it's from a computer. Next up, we have some old school classics. First, Necrotism by Carcass, released in '91 through Earache. And Carcass was a band I discovered very early, but I just heard Reek of Putrefaction and Symphonies of Sickness, and that was too extreme for me because I hadn't really discovered more brutal bands when I listened to them at first. But then I heard Heartwork when I was more into In Flames and At the Gates and stuff, but it didn't really catch my attention. But in recent times I've been reading a lot of folks raving about Necrotism, and I was a little bit disappointed because I thought it wouldn't be very fast-paced, but melodic and nice production, like a bridge exactly between Symphonies of Sickness and Heartwork. But this is more like Heartwork. And the first track, In Propagation, it's when I first heard it, it's 7 minutes long and it feels like it drags on forever. I didn't like that track, so I was very skeptical. But the second track is Corporal Jigsaw Quandary, and that track I had actually heard before, and it's very good. The riffing is excellent, and it turns out that the first track is the weakest, but I've listened to it maybe 20 times now, and I think the first track it's all right, but it's very good riffing at times, and I like that the mix that they have dual vocalists, and very funny. And there are some documentary comments or something about autopsies and stuff in a British accent. It fits the music very well. Next up we have a tape, and this is Mark of the Necrogram by Necrophobic. It was released in 2018 through Century Media, and the tape version was done by Floga Records. And the Necrophobic is a Swedish melodic death black metal band that was formed way back in '89. And for some reason I have never really listened to them, even though Dissection is one of my favorite bands of all time, and this sounds very similar, and they were in the same scene, so to speak, but I have never really heard them. But I saw they were going to do a live show in my hometown last year, which of course got cancelled, but I thought they might come this year. So I picked up what I thought was their latest, but they actually released another record last year. This one is from 2018, and it's 10 tracks and instrumental outro, which is very nice, and it's around 48 minutes, and it's excellent stuff. Melodic black death in the vein of Dissection and apparently themselves. And I know that Nocturnal Silence is an essential, the debut full length, so I will pick that up next. But very good stuff. Necrophobic, Mark of the Necrogram. And now we have Slowly We Rot by Obituary, released in '89 through Road Racer, but this is the 2019 Music on Vinyl repress. And Obituary is a band I never really listened to. I heard a couple of tracks from Cause of Death or The End Complete and a long time ago, but I thought it was a little bit too slow for my taste. But when they released Frozen in Time back in 2005, I heard Redneck Stomp, and I thought that was awesome, but I never checked out the entire record. And 2 years ago I saw them live with Slayer, and they were awesome live. And I can't remember what, but I know they played Shopton Hall from Cause of Death, Redneck Stomp, and the title track from Slowly We Rot. And they were amazing live, so I wanted to check them out. So, and my local record store had this, and this was unexpectedly fast. This is more thrashy, very fast paced, and everything is great on this. This is one of my I have just had it for a month, but it's one of my, I think it's one of the best death metal records of all time. It's excellent stuff. The vocals, the drumming, the riffs, the production, and especially the title track around the 2.5 minute mark, and for 1 minute. That's one of the best things I have ever heard. It's so fucking good. When the drummer just keeps, he just ups the tempo, and the riff that plays along, it's excellent stuff. And I will, like with the Ball Thrower and Asphyx, I will try to pick up everything with Obituary, because this is apparently a band that I enjoy very much but have not discovered properly. And there are no inserts. I was a little bit disappointed that there were no lyric insert, but apparently there are no official lyrics for this. But if you are like me and haven't listened to Slowly We Rot by Obituary, do yourself a favor and do it now. And speaking of lyrics, I picked up Sarkator's self-titled debut on tape last year since the vinyl got delayed, and there were no lyrics for that tape version. And this has now arrived. It was released by Redefining Darkness, and Sarkator is a relatively new Swedish band. They have released 2 EPs, and I've talked about them before, and this is their debut full-length. And they are from Trollhättan, Sweden, and it's a fast-paced thrash with leanings towards death and black metal. And I don't know, but I always, when I buy a record, when the first time I listen to it, I always sit down and read along with the lyrics. And I have a hard time just sitting staring into a wall or something when listening to music. And if the music doesn't grab me at maximum capacity, my mind starts to drift off and the music doesn't stick. But now Sarkator, this tape, I thought the tape was good, but it didn't make my top 10, not even my top 15, I think. But now when I have read along with the lyrics, I can get into the music much better, and this is awesome stuff. Very, very good. And my favorite track is still Purgatory Unleashed from one of the EPs. But all tracks are very good, mostly fast-paced, thrash, death, black. And if I would redo my album of the year, this would probably feature in top 10 now, because it's awesome. So check out Sarkator. And on the topic of lyrics, this is Grave Ritual, Morbid Throne. And I have had this a couple of years, but I have no idea where I got it from or why I got it, because I can't remember buying it, and I can't remember ever reading about the band or hearing someone talk about them. But it was released in 2015 through Dark Descent Records, and the band was formed in Alabama but moved to New Orleans, and this was the band's second full-length, but then they split up. And this record contains 9 tracks, and it's just over half an hour long. And you get a lyric insert, but it's nearly impossible to hear a single word the vocalist vomits out. It's very, very filthy and sludge death metal, and the production is very murky but still powerful. And the first track is a little bit different. It has an intro that's nice, but all the other tracks sounds pretty much the same. So if you have heard one, you have heard them all, because there are no real tempo shifts, and the vocalist he does his thing from start to finish. So it's very heavy, very cool, but as I said, if you have heard one of the tracks, you have pretty much heard the entire record. But it's good. So check out Morbid Throne by Grave Ritual if you want some filthy death metal. That was it. Thank you for watching.